Okay, hi everybody. Hi everybody. It's Mike here. I'm just today showing you my new Kiwi bass, ukulele bass with the rubbery strings. So I'll just quickly show you the bass. Now this is made by Touch the Clown Ukuleles from Sydney, Western Australia. Yeah, Sydney, Australia. And here's what he's done. He's done a very unique New Zealand down here, if you can see that. And then he's done music mic, and I use it on my website, that design which he made. So music mic, so it's a Kiwi. You can see the beak and an eye there, and it is a fretless too, just to let you know. So there's no frets, but there are fret lines in it. And and it's got a New Zealand map, New Zealand here, and and there, and it's got a volume, bass and treble knobs. Now on the back you can see the pickup cavity here. Now he had to redesign the pickup. He didn't have one quite long enough, so he cut down two 4-string ones to fit in there. Hence this extra wire going across. Battery cover. Now here's the scratch plate with his logo and whatever on it, but actually it says on it originally he wanted blank ones. He ordered them in bulk, and he got ones that said Fender on them. So he wrote this little thing. He does this: not a Fender, made in Corona, California, made by Touch the Clown Ukuleles, September 21. So that's that. Now having a look up the neck, here's the back, to up the neck and to the tuners. Now they're quite heavy tuners, big tuners, heavy, and I'll just show you quickly. Here's the balance of it. Whoa, neck dive. So that's why the strap is tied on up here, and the reason why it has to be by these tuners is because there's not quite enough gap between the plate here and the nut. So so it's not quite enough so you have to tie it around there. But when you are wearing it, of course, it actually doesn't dive with that there. I prefer to have a strap button here, but we can't put one there because of that issue. So maybe some smaller tuners might be good. These ones here are on my regular 5-string bass, are quite small ones. They're quite small ones there, you can see, compared to these ones, which are quite big ones. Of course, so there's a contrast in size. So size matters. Maybe the weight of these being bigger, heavier as well, and the head's quite big. So now I would have preferred this to be a bit more, not as wide a neck with these strings. I would have preferred it a little bit less wider, but it doesn't affect playability. I just would have liked it a bit more less. The strings closer together slightly. That's just my preference. Not to say it's a good or bad, it just is. Now, the thing about this fretless is you might be able to see the fret lines in the black wood, but it's a bit hard for me to see them looking down this way. So it would have been nicer if they were a bit lighter wood, especially in the darker wood, and then when it got to the lighter wood here, these ones show up quite easily. So it's not an inherently bad thing. I can sort of roughly see where they are, the tops of them anyway. And and the dots on the top, so it's got inlay dots here and on the top of the neck too, which is great, matching, which is great. Now I'm just going to show you play you a demo, just of this playable demo. So what I notice about this, it's been stretched out a little bit more. I'll stretch the tuners out. You can see that they are were here, and then I stretched them out to here. So I've done a bit of stretching already. I'm going to cut them off eventually. It's just still waiting in case I need to really stretch them out. It helps to pull on them. Now what I noticed about these strings, now the strings themselves are quite nice different to play. Also being a fretless, it's a bit different, but the strings themselves also, I'll just run through a playability of them. So we'll play them. B, E, A, D, and G. Now, what I notice is that the G string particularly feels like a different slight material that's more high tension. It feels more like plasticky, and these ones feel more rubbery. Yeah, so these top three feel more rubbery, and the bottom two feel more plasticky. So it's creating these a bit more higher tension sound. But also, when I play them again, B, E, A, D. So, for some reason, the D string is a lot quieter than the rest of the strings, and the G string is really a lot louder than the rest of the strings. So the pickup needs to be looked at. I haven't checked any of the wiring or inside pickups yet, so I don't know. So that's just about the strings, and the pickup itself is not picking up the D string well enough. I can get it to sound if I play it really hard, but then that creates other issues. So yep, that needs to be looked at. I'll have to look at underneath eventually one day. Now, just to show you, again, it's volume, bass, and treble. Now, the bass is all the way on. I will show you what it trebles all the way off. Now, if I turn the treble all the way on, just to show you, here's what you get. So you get all the pickup noise, get everything on the body. Everything. Now if I turn it down to halfway, you still hear some of that, and you still hear some of this here. Now also you might be hearing, when I'm playing, just hear that up. There's a lot of hiss and noise in the amp, which there isn't usually with my amp. So the pickup also needs to, the system might need to be shielded somehow. I don't know yet. Now, the bass is the interesting one. Here's how this one works. I'll turn it down to half. So you don't notice any difference at all. When we get near the end, I'll turn it right fully off or down. Hard to hear any noise. It acts like a volume. So what happens is, a bit more with this high tension string here. So yep, anyway. Now, what happens is, it goes fully on. When it's open, it's fully on. Then when you go down, then when you get to near the end, it just has a very sharp volume. So it creates a sharp volume. And I have seen this one other time on my Samick Baby bass, which I need to look at too. But that I changed the original pickup to an EMG. It's a P bass. Samick Baby bass is a P bass, yep. And so I did that. Now, on that one, only just has a volume and a tone. Now, after I did that one, the tone is all crackly, and also it acts like a volume and not a tone anymore. Now, online after inquiring, people said that bass, it's probably either the pots aren't the right value, or that the capacitor and the tone on that was not the right value for that particular bass setup, or that pickup setup. So I need to address these issues. Be something fun for me to do, and also because of the it's very rough made. As you can see, when I put my thumb on there, it stops all the buzz. It's still buzzing quite a lot even with that. But yeah, there's still, when I turn the bass back up, there's still a lot of so the buzz, as you can hear in the background, goes away when I ground it. So it's a grounding issue, and it's also a grounding problem slightly, and also very noisy pickup system. So yeah. Now I've got another little preamp that I made just for testing purposes, which is a guitar. Oh, it's probably for a more guitar setup, but I'm going to test it with that. Just tape it onto the strap or something. And it's got its own piezo disc style on it. I might try with that. Or I might wire that one up to the original piezo. This piezo system to see. But yeah, just to test a different pickup system, just to see what it sounds like. But yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff we can and can't do. We can do. So I'm going to have to do my own little work now. Like I said, I may do the finish. I may not. But yeah, I'll leave it kind of there. It's 10 minutes now. Just over 10 minutes. So yeah, I'll leave it there with this tutorial. But hopefully you can see it's really, really nicely, apart from being a few little things I've mentioned. Yeah, you know, it's very hard to, the finish, I know, and to see these sort of areas, hard to do. But yeah, I might choose to just sand down the finish and redo that a bit. I might not. I don't mind it. It's okay to play. I might just, yeah, check the neck. Might need a little bit of, it's a bit rough on the neck. So I might, yeah, readjust just the neck. But yeah, I'm going to just decide what I'm going to do about the finish quality stuff. But yeah, it is handmade in a factory by a guy, Twitch the Clown, who, yeah, makes instruments for the love of it. He makes fun instruments like this Kiwi bass. I knew it was not going to be perfect and have qualities like this. And yep, but I'm happy with it overall. So yeah, thank you for listening, and yeah, here's my quick tutorial. And yeah, just to show you what it's like. So yeah, thank you.